Hello, my name is Max Drake. I'd like to show you, would like to talk to you about photographic room capture, or basically 360 by 180. Here's an image which is, you can rotate through 360 and you can look up and down. So that's where the 360 180 comes in. I end up linking the photos through to a floor plan so that you can reference which images are where. If you try clicking on these, they take a long while to download if you're bringing it over the internet. So with the icons, we can click on those and it will take us to another image. In fact, it will take us to this image here. One of the issues with this is that some of these files are quite large, so it can take a long time to come down across the internet. This one is useful for exploring the spaces, ceilings, floors, finishes, all of those, and quality of finish on the walls. We can zoom in to look at hardware, we can go full screen, we can leave full screen, we can look at the hardware, look at the geometry of the windows, all of those sorts of things. If we just zoom in here onto the image on the mirror, you'll see this line up here. This is in fact the camera. It's a very small camera, it's less than the height of your hand, and what it actually has is that you can actually have apps that'll allow you to actually take photos when they're outside the room, so that you're not in the photo at all. The photo cameras that you can use is, there's a Google Sphere that you can try on your own mobile phone. Unfortunately, it's a bit time consuming to actually do it, but it gives you the idea of a photosphere. The two photo cameras that I used was the Ricoh Theatre, which was an older version, that only had 5 megapixels, and the other one that I'm using at the moment is the little LG 360, which is a brilliant little camera. Both of them come with apps, so that you can actually use the apps to actually download the photos onto your actual phone itself to check the quality of them before you move off site. So it's very handy, and you're not in the photo, so that you can take the photos remotely. So they're very, very handy to use. This is a comparison of the 5 megapixel image to a 30 megapixel image. The file size here is 4 megabytes and the file size here is about 0.6 of a megabyte. If we go through, it's okay at this level, but again the finishes are not that clear. But if we zoom in, and I just want to go to a certain point and to do a comparison, I just want to go to there, and here if I just do the swirl around, you see it's pretty, you can get a pretty good idea of the level of finishes on this one here. Again, I want to zoom in to the same point and just give you an indication there. You can clearly see the socket, you can clearly almost see the finish on the walls. Skirting's very clearly identified, not so well on that, although that's actually the camera angle, but it gives you the idea of, you get a lot more better information on it. Unfortunately, the larger files take a longer time to actually download, but there is a solution to that, and that is actually to either have the images on your server so you can whip into them quite quickly, or else to actually give them to somebody on a flash drive, or so that they're quickly downloaded. Then for a particular property you can do that. On this particular example, I actually take a low, I think it's more clear on the other image that I have there. On this particular property, I've done this on a couple of times, where I've done a low resolution picture and then a high resolution picture, so that you can quickly go and see where you want to be located, and then you zoom in with the high level information. Again, another point I want to make with this is the level of detail that you can get. The power of the 360 camera is also in geometry. You know, you wouldn't have envisaged this, and you'd need quite a few elevations to pick up the sort of the geometry that's actually occurring in this space, whereas it's picked up quite nice. The other thing is you can find out where the socket outlets are, lighting outlets, and your hardware type. So again, that's very nice to actually have. another space that's very awkward to actually measure. So from a painter's point of view, they've got a good indication of what surface area they do have to go and paint. That's also useful.